Hi is back on the Drama CD channel, where the emotional stories of idols aren't just heard as news, but felt like heartfelt beats. This time, a story that has left millions of fans breathless has finally been revealed. About Wang Yibo, about his weakest point, and about Xiao Zhan, who, without a word, chose to stay behind. That day should have gone like any other busy schedule. Spotlights, cameras, relentless practice, and demands for perfection that seem to leave no room for pause. Wang Yibo, with the professionalism he's known for, remained strong even though his body was already giving signs of exhaustion. Until finally his body gave out. The moments when Wang Yibo was rushed to the hospital were the most tense for fans. News of his extreme fatigue and mounting physical stress spread quickly. The media was abuzz. Fans panicked. But beneath all the commotion, there was one figure who chose to remain silent and stay where he was. Xiao Zhan arrived without announcement, without cameras, without any intention of drawing attention. He simply came as someone who cared. In the cold hospital hallway, he sat waiting with an unreadable expression, harboring worries he didn't want to share with anyone. Hours passed. Wang Yibo still remained unconscious. The medical machines beeped softly, the only sound breaking the silence. Many people came and went, but Xiao Zhan remained there, refusing to go home, refusing to be replaced. It was as if his presence was the only promise he wanted to keep that night. When Wang Yibo finally opened his eyes, the world seemed to stop for a moment. His consciousness returned slowly, accompanied by a deep sense of exhaustion. But the first thing he saw wasn't the hospital lights or the doctor's face, but the person who had been sitting beside him from the beginning. Wang Yibo's gaze met Xiao Zhan's. There was no dramatic dialogue, no immediate tears, only a meaningful silence. A silence more powerful than 1,000 words of comfort. Wang Yibo's condition began to improve. The doctor stated that he needed complete rest and serious mental recovery. His body was safe, but the wounds of exhaustion were evident. This was where Xiao Zhan again showed a side rarely seen in public. He didn't offer lengthy advice, nor did he force Wang Yibo to speak. He simply sat there, keeping him company, ensuring that Wang Yibo didn't feel alone during those difficult days of recovery. A silent, yet palpable, loyalty. News of Xiao Zhan remaining by Wang Yibo's side finally reached fans. The reaction was explosive. Social media was flooded with virtual tears, messages of prayer, and an indescribable sense of emotion. Many said they cried not from sadness, but from a warmth rarely seen in the entertainment world. For fans, this wasn't just the story of two famous celebrities. It was a story of humanity, about choosing to be present when the spotlight is off, about persevering at one's most vulnerable moment. Xiao Zhan himself never issued a lengthy official statement. He simply said that Wang Yibo was someone who worked incredibly hard and deserved time to recover. Simple words, yet filled with deep concern. In the following days, Wang Yibo began to show significant signs of recovery. A small smile returned. His energy slowly returned. And through each development, Xiao Zhan remained the first witness, albeit always a step behind the scenes. Fans cried not because of tragedy, but because of unspoken love. Love in the form of friendship, support, and unconditional presence. In an industry that often feels cold and competitive, this story serves as a reminder that the human heart remains warm. This drama wasn't fabricated. It wasn't scripted. It just happened real and honest. And perhaps that's why it felt so painful and empowering at the same time. Wang Yibo finally realized, not just from his fainting spell, but from the reality that he wasn't alone. That even as his body collapsed, there was someone who chose to remain by his side, without promises, without demands. Behind all that, there were silent nights that never made the media's news. Nights when Wang Yibo woke up from nightmares, his breath short, and his body still heavy. At times like those, Xiao Zhan always remained in the same chair, saying little, just making sure Wang Yibo knew he was safe and not alone. The silence in the treatment room often felt more honest than the cheers on stage. It was there that Wang Yibo began to realize how fragile he was as a human being, far from the strong image he had always projected. And it was there that he learned that admitting fatigue wasn't a failure. Xiao Zhan understood this without needing to explain. He knew all too well how the pressures of the industry could slowly, imperceptibly, eat away at him. That's why he never pressured Wang Yibo to get back to his strength. For him, recovery was a journey that shouldn't be rushed. Every morning, sunlight streamed through the hospital window, illuminating the two figures sitting across from each other. There wasn't always conversation, but the presence itself was enough. A sense of calm grew, slowly but surely, like a wound finally beginning to heal. Fans may have only seen snippets of the story, but they could feel the sincerity behind it. Many wrote that this story gave them the courage to rest, admit they were tired, and ask for help. An impact far greater than mere celebrity news. Wang Yibo, in his silence, began to learn to listen to his own body and heart. He smiled more often, not for the camera, but for himself. And each smile seemed to be the answer to all the worries that once hung in the air. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan remained a calming shadow. He didn't seek praise, nor did he crave the spotlight. For him, simply knowing that Wang Yibo was slowly finding his balance was a gift in itself. This story ultimately served as a mirror for many. That amidst ambition and demands, we all need someone willing to sit with us, without judgment, without coercion. Someone who is there not out of obligation, but out of concern. And perhaps, this is why this story resonates so deeply. Because behind the famed names of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan lies a simple lesson about empathy, friendship, and the courage to stay when things get toughest. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan shows that true caring doesn't require a stage. It just requires the courage to be there, even when no one is watching. On the Drama CD channel, this story will always be remembered as one of the most emotional moments. Not because of the sensation, but because of the sincerity rarely expressed. And for the fans who cried, those tears weren't weakness. They were proof that your hearts were still capable of empathy, hope, and simple yet profound love. This story of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan isn't about fame. It's about humanity, about survival, about recovery, and about a presence that can save more than just the body. That's all for today's story on Drama CD. If this story touched your heart, treasure it. Because in a noisy world, stories like this are the ones worth remembering.